You know, they were having the vomitorium, the banquet halls, where they would stuff themselves full of food and they would vomit and they would eat again and they would have these sex parties. One of the things that is equally terrifying but equally liberating is the course of events that will naturally follow suit in the cyclical nature of the human race, of civilization. And you may have heard this expression, but it's hard times make strong men make good times make weak men invariably make hard times. And if you are sensitive to the world around you, you will of course notice that we are in the weak men creating hard times. And it is interesting to note that every time a civilization begins to crumble, one particular thing happens, and that is morals start to become extremely loose, especially around sex. We all know how rampant pornography is, and the sexualization of the human race. The women's morals as well get completely corrupted without of unity for the family, and this is due to a multiple number of reasons, especially as women are being pushed more into corporate positions and are being fed this quite nefarious lie about how their job is going to be the most fulfilling part of their role in life, and how family, womanhood, and it doesn't even need to be motherhood. It doesn't even need to be that, but the importance of the family is just completely negated in the pursuit of money, material possessions, wealth, and status, for example. And this lie kind of shows us where we are in that place of time. So I'm just going to write this up on the board here. So we have those hard times giving rise to strong men, which follows the cycle that is invariably coming towards us now. So many of you who are watching me on this channel, who are sensitive towards the environment, especially towards the pervasiveness of sexual material that is out there right now, who are consciously aware and taking conscious actions to refrain from indulgence and pleasure, from perversion, from gratifying themselves to scantily clad women, and encouraging this degenerate behavior in absence of any kind of unity of family or traditional values and, let's say, sanctity of human beings. And those of you who are, or who align themselves with these kind of values, who are looking to proceed in that way moving that way forward, we are the future. The future belongs to us. We are the leaders of that particular quarter, that cyclical quarter. So those weak men creating those hard times now is the time for the maturation of us, for the maturation of the men who want to lead us out of this degeneracy into good times again. So strong men creating good times. And as much as, because I haven't personally experienced too much pain in the current climate of not being able to find a suitable woman, a woman who is not swept away with this kind of degenerate culture, with this very sexualized culture that constantly promotes promiscuity. I've managed to find myself a very good woman whose values lie with the family. I know many men out there are suffering. I know it's hard for you to find a good woman because there are many women out there but very few wives out there. And I think I speak for the most part of what a lot of men are experiencing right now. But I wanted to give you a little bit of hope, like the inevitability of the destabilization of Western culture is just a natural consequence of the cycles that we go in. I mean, if you look back to the Roman times, in the peak of their powers, the Romans were degenerates. They were having the Roman orgies, they were having the vomitorium, the banquet halls, where they would stuff themselves full of food and they would vomit and they would eat again and they would have these sex parties. They were gluttonous, lustful degenerates. And when you can make that kind of parallel to where we are in society, that is what you see. That is what you see on the Instagram instant gratification culture. Is everybody's a glutton. Everybody is wrapped in the jaws of lust and promiscuity. And for those of us that are, again, sensitive towards that particular nefarious energy, and we are paving our way back to more traditional, back to more religious and spiritual values, the future belongs to the spiritual. There can be no argument about. The way forward from where we are now is back to God. Is, as Nietzsche proclaimed, so in apathy, in distress, in absolute turmoil, God is dead. We have killed him. How do we consult ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? We have cut God off the head of modern Western culture, and we have placed ourselves atop that pyramid. That is how we organize ourselves now in this culture. Is, where can I get my pleasure? How can I be worshipped? And when you do that, you destabilize the whole system. And then when you put a mortal human with unnatural fallacy, we're fallacious creatures by design. I'm not perfect. Nobody here is perfect. But that's why we can't be God in this carnation. We have to organize ourselves around, I don't want to say a deity, but an intrinsic force of ultimate good. And you can see that manifested in some of the great religious scriptures. Again, people who know me know I'm not a fan of ideology. I don't believe in monotheism or polytheism or Judaism or Christianity or Hinduism. I mean, I probably side more towards the Eastern religions, but they're all God with different skins on, different clothes on, and the teachings are relatively the same. So if we can organize ourselves around some of those more traditional values and placing ourselves in reverence to something higher, to something more suitable to orientate ourselves around, there is nothing that can stop us. The future belongs to the religious, the spiritual, and coming back to that point of strong men becoming good times. The strongest men are the ones that understand that they are humble in the eyes of some kind of greater good. So I wanted to leave you with a little bit of hope, with a little bit of peace, and with a little bit of optimism, because as many, it's not difficult. Times are difficult at the moment in terms of the struggle, but this is a natural cycle that will pass, like the seasons pass, like winter, like summer, and spring and autumn. It just passes, and we evolve to the next. So I hope that gives you a little bit of optimism, and if you subscribe to anything of which I've said here, then you could subscribe to me, and I'll see you again very, very soon, my friends. Take care.